Pulp Trump Fiction Stories presents Episode 3, May 12th, 2026. Episode 3, Trading Spouses, Geopolitical Edition. Amazon Prime Studios was having a good morning. This was rare. Jeff Bezos sat at the head of a glass conference table while studio executives pitched shows with the defeated excitement of people trying to describe fire to a committee. We're very excited about this Prestige Astronaut Divorce limited series, one executive said. Strong international potential, another added. Bezos nodded. What else? Before anyone could answer, the doors exploded open. ICE agents poured into the room. One executive dropped a croissant. Another whispered, "Is this about the Tolkien budget?" Then Mel Oniona entered. Behind her came Eric Trump carrying a binder labeled Ideas That Will Save America and also television. Bezos removed his sunglasses slowly. What is this? Mel Oniona smiled the way mannequins smile in nightmares. Jeffrey, we are here because our shows need top priority. Eric nodded. Top priority means before dragons, before spies, before sad astronauts, before anything with British detectives. Bezos looked at the ICE agents. You raided my studio for a pitch meeting? Mel Oniona glided to the head of the table. No, we raided your studio for democracy. Eric opened the binder. And distribution. Mel Oniona leaned forward. I have a reboot. The room went silent. Trading spouses. Several executives perked up despite themselves. Reality format? One asked. Yes, Melania said. I trade spouse for 1 week, maybe 2. Depends on ratings. The room misunderstood completely. Brilliant, a studio head said. A geopolitical leader swap. Mel Oniona blinked. What? World leaders trading countries for a week, the executive continued. Built-in stakes, culture clash, diplomacy, disasters, fish-out-of-water governance. Bezos whispered. That's actually not terrible. Mel Oniona frowned. I meant I get different husband. Even better, said Eric, misunderstanding the misunderstanding. America loves layers. And somehow, because television is just civilization losing a bet with itself, the show happened. At first, it was astonishingly successful. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom was sent to Korea during a sudden flooding crisis and handled it with remarkable composure. He wore boots, he listened to engineers, he gave clear instructions. Nobody sang. Nobody pointed at a map with a ham sandwich. It was considered a breakthrough. Meanwhile, the Korean president addressed Parliament in London and received a standing ovation after securing unanimous support for an education partnership bill sharing scientific research between the two countries. Critics called it inspiring. Audiences called it surprisingly competent. One headline read, Trading spouses may accidentally save diplomacy. Then came week 4. Vladimir Putin arrived in Washington, smiling like a cat who had been appointed dog catcher. By noon, he had pulled the United States out of NATO. By 2, he had lifted sanctions on Russia and Iran. By 3, he referred to America as the U.S., then leaned into the microphone and whispered, S.R., then giggled like a schoolgirl who had replaced the teacher's coffee with beet soup. Otherwise, the government ran exactly the same. Back in the Oval Office, Trump watched the ratings climb on 6 televisions at once. This is what I've been saying, he told Stephen Miller. People want leadership, drama, and maybe light treason if the lighting is good. Stephen nodded. The 3 T's, sir, Trump smiled. Tyranny, Trump, tradition. Stephen whispered. Trouble this way comes. Trump pointed at the screens. We need more reboots. Don Jr., sitting sideways in a chair, perked up. The Apprentice reboot tested well with angry divorced contractors. It did, Trump said, but we go bigger. And for a while they did. Trump Goes to Space was a hit. Trump Goes to Vegas was expensive but loud. Trump Goes to Court was accidentally renewed for 6 seasons. Then came the live-action Ernest Goes reboot series. Trump Goes to School confused everyone but performed well with nostalgic dads. Trump Goes to Jail became a prestige comedy hit in France. Trump Goes to the Bank was mostly security footage. Then came Trump Goes to Camp. Nobody agreed afterward on exactly what happened. There were lawsuits, there were bears, there was a canoe incident. There were 94 children, 3 unpaid counselors, 1 helicopter, and a suspiciously well-fed raccoon wearing a red tie. The lawsuits consumed all profits from the entire Ernest-style reboot franchise, plus an additional amount described in court documents as financially operatic. But over time, something strange happened. Trump Goes to Camp became a cult horror classic. Every Halloween, the most steel-stomached horror fans gathered in basements and abandoned theaters to watch it at midnight. They brought canned beans. They wore whistles of camp counselors. At the exact moment Trump screamed, "That raccoon works for Obama," the audience threw mushrooms at the screen. Trump considered this a win. Then Eric raised his hand. "I have the real answer." Trump sighed. "Fine, Eric." Eric stood proudly. TNN. Nobody spoke. Trump News Network, Eric explained. More and more people are getting news from AI bots, and the bots are saying reasonable things to people. Trump recoiled. Disgusting. Eric opened a folder. Recent examples. He read from the first page. Number 1. Old man complains about pool color after being arrested 34 times, then tells police he likes Al Capone better than Elliot Ness. Trump squinted. That sounds biased. Number 2, Eric continued. Grandfather embarrasses family by insisting children's education savings should be spent on effeminate ballroom and man cave. Stephen looked down. Number 3, confused crowd witnesses old man having a bowel movement while telling rambling tale of weightlifting darling not pleasing their mom. Trump stood. That never happened the way it happened. Eric slammed the folder shut. That's why we need TNN. If we don't 200% control the narrative, the truth will annihilate us all. A hush fell over the room. Then Eric smiled. I already have Alex Jones. Stephen blinked. For the network? And a megaphone I confiscated from Laura after another for sale sign went up in the neighborhood. Trump looked moved. My son. Just then, back at Amazon Prime Studios, a quiet man in a ruffled suit entered the executive conference room. No ICE agent stopped him. No assistant noticed. He placed a film canister on the table. Bezos looked up. Who are you? The man said. Mr. Smith. The room chilled. He tapped the canister. I have a documentary. What's it called? Asked a studio head. Mr. Smith's smile widened. Trump, from A to Z, Moro. Outside, thunder muttered over Los Angeles like a lawyer clearing his throat. End episode 3.